3 nights later, old Major died in his sleep. The animals buried his body at the foot of the orchard. It was early March. In the next 3 months, many animals worked secretly. Major's speech changed how the smarter animals thought. They didn't know when the rebellion would happen. They didn't even know if it would happen in their lifetimes. But they believed they had to get ready. The pigs, the cleverest animals, started teaching and organizing the others. The most important pigs were 2 young boars, Snowball and Napoleon. Jones was raising them to sell. Napoleon was big and serious. He didn't talk much but always got his way. Snowball was more active and spoke quickly. He had many ideas but was not as strong in character as Napoleon. All the other male pigs were smaller. One of them, named Squealer, was fat with small eyes and a loud voice. He moved quickly and was very good at speaking. The animals said Squealer could make lies sound like truth. These 3 pigs changed Major's ideas into a complete system called animalism. They held secret meetings in the barn after Mr. Jones went to bed. They explained the rules of animalism to the others, but many animals didn't understand. Some said they were loyal to Mr. Jones and called him Master. Others asked why they should care about the future or said it didn't matter if they helped or not. The pigs worked hard to explain that these ideas were wrong. The white mare, Molly, asked the silliest questions. Her first question to Snowball was, "Will we still have sugar after the rebellion?" "No," said Snowball. "We can't make sugar here. You don't need sugar. You'll have enough oats and hay." Molly then asked, "Can I still wear ribbons in my mane?" "Those ribbons are a sign of slavery." The pigs had more problems because of Moses, the tame raven. He was Mr. Enport, Jones's pet. He spied and told lies. But he spoke well. He told the animals about a place called Sugar Candy Mountain. He said it was in the sky, beyond the clouds. He said animals went there when they died. In Sugar Candy Mountain, it was Sunday every day, and sweet food grew on trees. The animals didn't like Moses because he didn't work, but some believed him, and the pigs had to work hard to make them understand that it was not real. Their most loyal followers were the 2 cart horses, Boxer and Clover. These horses found it hard to think for themselves, but after they accepted the pigs as their leaders, they believed everything the pigs said and explained it to the others in simple ways. They never missed a secret meeting in the barn and always led the singing of Beasts of England at the end. The rebellion happened much earlier and more easily than anyone had thought. In the past, Mr. Jones had been a strong but skilled farmer, but recently he had become careless. After losing money in a court case, he started drinking a lot. He spent whole days sitting in a chair, drinking and reading, and sometimes gave Moses bread with beer. His workers were lazy and dishonest. The fields were full of weeds, the buildings were falling apart, and the animals were hungry. In June, the hay was ready to be cut. On Midsummer's Eve, a Saturday, Mr. Baysample, Jones went to the town and got very drunk. He didn't return until Sunday afternoon. The men had milked the cows early and then went hunting rabbits, but they did not feed the animals. When Mr. Jones came home, he fell asleep on the sofa with a newspaper over his face. By evening, the animals were still not fed. They could not take it anymore. One cow broke the door of the food shed, and all the animals began eating. Jones woke up and came to the shed with his men, holding whips. They hit the animals, but the animals could not take it anymore. Without planning it, they all attacked Mr. Jones and his men. They kicked and pushed them. The men were surprised and scared. They could not control the situation and quickly ran away. In a minute, All 5 men were running down the road, with the animals chasing them. Mrs. Jones saw this from the window, packed a few things, and left the farm from another way. Moses flew after her, and so the animals closed the gate behind the men and, without really planning it, had completed the rebellion. Mr. Jones was gone, and the farm was now theirs. At first, the animals could not believe their luck. They ran around the farm to check that no humans were hiding. Then, they went back to the buildings to remove everything that reminded them of Mr. Jones. They threw bits, chains, knives, and whips into the well or into the fire. They danced with happiness when the whips burned. Snowball also threw the ribbons used on market days into the fire. He said ribbons were like clothes which belonged to humans and that animals should not wear them. Boxer, who wore a small straw hat in summer, threw his hat into the fire too. Soon, everything that reminded them of Mr. Jones was gone. Napoleon gave everyone extra food and 2 biscuits to each dog. They sang Beasts of England 7 times and slept better than ever. In the morning, they all woke up and remembered what had happened. They ran into the fields. On a small hill, they looked around the farm. Everything they saw was now theirs. They were so happy that they jumped, ran, rolled in the grass, and smelled the earth. They visited every part of the farm with love. It was as if they were seeing it for the first time. Then they went to the farmhouse and stood quietly. It was theirs too, but they were scared to go inside. Snowball and Napoleon opened the door, and the animals walked in carefully. They moved quietly, looking at the beds, mirrors, sofa, and carpets. But Molly was missing. They found her in the best room, holding a ribbon and looking at herself in the mirror. The others got angry, and they all left the house. They buried the meat in the kitchen and broke the beer barrel. Nothing else was touched. They all agreed the house should stay as a museum and that no animal should live there. After breakfast, Snowball and Napoleon called everyone for a meeting. "Comrades," said Snowball, "it is 6003 in the morning, and we have a long day ahead. Today, we start cutting the hay. But first," they had learned to read and write by using an old spelling book. This book had belonged to Mr. Jones's children and had been thrown away. Napoleon brought black and white paint and led the animals to the main gate. Then Snowball, who was the best at writing, took a brush and painted over the words Manor Farm on the gate. Instead, he painted Animal Farm. This would be the new name of the farm. After that, they went to the farm buildings. They explained that the pigs had studied hard and made a list of 7 rules called the 7 Commandments. These rules showed what animalism was. The 7 commandments were painted in big white letters on the barn wall where all animals could see them. Snowball climbed the ladder to paint, while Squealer held the paint. The rules were clear and easy to read from far away. The 7 commandments: whatever goes upon 2 legs is an enemy. Whatever goes upon 4 legs or has wings is a friend. No animal shall wear clothes. No animal shall sleep in a bed. No animal shall drink alcohol. No animal shall kill any other animal. All animals are equal. It was very neatly written, and except that friend was written friend, and one of the S's was the wrong way round. The spelling was correct all the way through. Snowball read it aloud for the benefit of the others. All the animals nodded in complete agreement, and the cleverer ones at once began to learn the commandments by heart. "Now, comrades," cried Snowball, throwing down the paintbrush to the hayfield, "let us make it a point of honor to get in the harvest more quickly than Jones and his men could do." But at this moment the 3 cows, who had seemed uneasy for some time past, set up a loud lowing. They had not been milked for 24 hours, and their udders were almost bursting. After a little thought, The pigs sent for buckets and milked the cows fairly successfully, their trotters being well adapted to this task. Soon there were 5 buckets of frothing, creamy milk, at which many of the animals looked with considerable interest. "What is going to happen to all that milk?" said someone. "Jones used sometimes to mix some of it in our mash," said one of the hens.